Did you know that there's a medication specifically labeled for noise aversion in dogs? That means that the condition is so widespread that it was worth the investment in doing the research. But not all dogs need medications, and there are more than one medication that can be used. Does your dog do this whenever he hears loud noises? I'm Dr. Ryan, a veterinarian and a veterinary behavior residency graduate, and I deal with this condition a lot. Noise aversion can be defined as an exaggerated response to noise, with the dog trying to escape, avoid, run away from the noise, or showing signs of anxiety. Also, it takes a long time for him to recover after the exposure. Noise aversion will also include noise phobia and fear of noises. The definitions of fear, anxiety, and phobia are completely different. But I will not go into this thing right now. Instead, when I'm saying noise aversion, I'm talking about all three. Okay? Okay. How common is it? In a 2018 study, 2/3 of dog owners reported symptoms of noise aversion. 2/3! That means that most dogs have noise aversion to some extent. Crazy, right? Well, that means that this problem is actually underdiagnosed, and there's a very good chance that your dog also has noise aversion. What did the dogs in the study do when they were exposed to loud noises? They vocalized, whining, whimpering, or barking. They trembled or shook, and they tried hiding. Of course, there were other fear and anxiety behaviors that were reported, but these three that I just mentioned were the most common ones. Now, this is important. The behavior happened with or without the owners around. If the behavior only happens when the owners are around, it might actually be an attention-seeking behavior. Many times, noise aversion comes with other behavioral problems, for example, separation anxiety. So it's very important to diagnose all of the behaviors and treat all of them. And here's a basic treatment plan. It's basic, so it might not work for your dog, but here we go. Number 1, avoiding and preventing the exposure to the noises. I know it's not always possible, but it definitely means that during the 4th of July, you shouldn't be taking your dog outside for a walk while you know that fireworks are gonna happen. Instead, you should create this safe place in the house ahead of time. Play some nice, calm, classical music, or even use a white noise machine to kind of block out the noises from the outside. Choose the best location that you can possibly choose that has the least amount of windows, or windows that you can completely cover and block so the dog can't see the outside, or even use something like the bathroom or the basement that are usually more soundproof. And a cat just jumped on the window here and is distracting me. Number 2, give your dog some treats and play with him to make this experience a positive one as much as possible. Maybe if whenever your dog hears a thunderclap, he's gonna get a high-value treat, he might have this association with good things happening. Like, oh, there's a thunderclap, I'm gonna get a treat. Yay! Well, you can try, but if your dog is really anxious or panicking, it's not very likely to work. Sorry. Number 3, systematic desensitization. That means playing a recording of the noises in a very low volume and gradually and very slowly increasing the volume. Now, if your dog starts showing anxiety signs, it means that you're over the threshold and you should play it at a lower volume. Most dogs that I know don't really respond to recordings that much. I guess that it's not just the noise itself, but might also involve other things like the shock waves that we might not feel, or if we're talking about lightning and thunderclaps, maybe changes in the barometric pressure or static electricity in the air or anything like that. But if your dog does respond to those recording of the noises, then you can definitely try. Number 4, medications. Sileo is the only medication that is FDA approved for noise aversion in the United States and also available. There's actually another medication that is FDA approved for noise aversions, but it's still not available in the US. Other than Sileo, there are many other medications that are commonly used and seem to be very effective in dogs with noise aversions. For example, trazodone, gabapentin, and benzodiazepines. They are best used ahead of time, before the dog actually starts showing those signs of anxiety or panic. Of course, it's not always possible because we don't always predict those noises, but try to use them sooner than later. Every veterinarian can prescribe these medications. So if your dog is showing noise aversion symptoms, speak to her and see what you can do about it. If you want to learn more, check out the description below. There's a link to a comprehensive video about this topic. I admit that I don't agree with everything in that video, but it's still a great source. I mentioned that you can play with your dog and give him treats during the noises, right? But what should you use? Not every toy is safe. Great news! I made a video exactly about this topic, so check it out. Oh, and if you made it to this point, please subscribe to the channel and or like the video. The more people do, the more my channel will grow until I can dominate the world.